to introduce our new congressman from the district. This is his day, this is his forum, his town meeting, so please, we want to hear from you. You're very welcome. My pleasure.
If you can indulge me, let's do what I love to do before we start any sort of public meeting, is the pledge. Away we go. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have more chairs coming in. This is wonderful. It's a lousy day out there. It's noon. The Bears aren't on for a few hours though, so I think we're okay. I wanted to as well introduce Suzanne, and I will when she comes back. Let me take a few moments and tell you why I'm doing these listening tour town halls. Let me give you an update on how things look in Washington right now. And you probably know almost as well as I do because there's lots in the news. Let me go over a few ground rules, and there are only a very few ground rules. And then let's jump into what I want to do, which is this. I want to answer your questions. I don't care how personal, I don't care about what policy they're about. I want to answer any question you've got. Most importantly, I want to hear your thoughts. If you don't have a question and you just want to go off on an issue, you want to tell me what's on your head or in your heart, I want you to do it. I want to hear it. We've got staff members, thanks guys and gals. That should... Hey. Oh, enough!
Sorry, Joe.
That should do the trick. That should do the trick.
He's throwing stuff around.
Okay.
How you doing?
Thanks, folks. Thanks, guys. That should do the trick.
Oh, good. One for Ellie.
Let me, again, before I get into what I'm going to say, very briefly, let me thank our village president, and let's give Suzanne a big hand. We've got a double hit over there because we also are very fortunate. We've got our Long Grove village president, Maria Rodriguez, with us.
The village of Long Grove to say congratulations and welcome, and we look forward to working together.
Thank you. Any other dignitaries will grab as they come in. Here's the point. Here's the deal. Many of you, not all of you, listened to me, walked with me during the campaign, followed this campaign. You probably know where I stand on a lot of issues. There's nothing more important than whoever you elect, and I think send to Springfield or send to Washington, that man or woman that you elect, it's their duty to get in front of you all the time. It's their duty to get in front of you, open to the public, no filters, and any man or woman in the 8th district can ask me any question they want to ask me. The minute I stop doing that, run my butt out of Washington. That's the single most important thing I can do as your representative, is to put myself in front of you and face the music. If I can't handle that, I don't deserve to be elected. So, before I'm even sworn in on January 5th, we want to take a good chunk of this month, and we're going to go around to 5 different locations throughout the district. I don't like the expression listening for, but I'll use it. But I want to listen to people. And again, no rules. This is open to anybody who wants to come. You should all know, maybe some of you got those robocalls we all hate, but we called independents, we called people who voted in mixed primaries, and we've tried to encourage Democrats to come to these things. I, as your congressman, we have tried to encourage people who did not vote for me to come to these town halls. Once I'm sworn in on January 5th, I can tell you, every congressman or woman's got a bias. Some of them want to be in Washington a lot. They want to buy a home. They want to rent a home. They want to be in Washington as much as they can, and they come home when they have to. Here's how I'm going to be. I'm sleeping in my office in D.C. I will be home as much as I can. I will only be there when I have to be. I just got elected. You may not agree with this, but I think it's more important for me these first 2 years to be home a lot more than than to be in D.C. So it will be my bias to be home all the time. Helene's going to have to kick me to the airport every Monday morning to get me to fly to D.C. I don't love D.C. I like it here. But most importantly, that goes to my philosophy. Again, most importantly, it's my job to be in front of the folks that sent me to Washington as much as I can. If I lose that connection, if I don't hear what you have to say, if I can't listen to you, get in my face on a regular basis and tell me how you feel, then I'm not doing my job. So this is open, there are no rules. We'll get started in a minute. We got 2 ground rules. I hate ground rules, but we got 2. First one's important. I'm opening myself up. You're going to open yourself up because I want you to ask anything you want to ask, but let's do everything we do with respect. Absolutely. No matter what your viewpoint on any issue, no matter what you think about me, no matter what I think about you, let's treat each other with respect. Second rule, don't filibuster. Politicians do it all the time. I'm hogging the floor right now. I'm about to end. Don't filibuster. If you got a question, you got some thoughts, get to your point. We got a lot of people who probably want to express their viewpoint. Don't filibuster. The minute I start filibustering, Don, you can raise your hand and throw the coffee at me. Let's not filibuster. Let's treat each other with respect. Final point I'll make, and then I'll open this up to questions. I've been out to D.C. a couple times this month. There's a lot in the news right now. Clearly, the biggest thing in the news right now is this big tax deal, the big compromise. The president and the Republicans, they're reaching across the aisle, they're shaking hands, they're coming up with a tax deal. I hate it when people say this, to extend tax cuts. They're not cutting anybody's taxes. Okay, they're agreeing to keep the rates where they're at for a couple of years. So the Republicans are getting a few things they want. Sounds like President Obama's getting a few things that he wants. Sounds like a lot of people aren't happy with it. A lot of people are happy with it. I've got my ideas on how I think it's going to play out. I don't have a dog in that fight yet because that's not my vote. But it's an important issue, and depending upon how it plays out this next week, this is all going to happen this next week, that's going to impact a lot of what the Republicans do when they take control January 5th. Because the Republicans have some very clear ideas about what they want to do. And not everybody's going to like what they want to do. A number of us in the Republican conference may not like what they want to do. It's going to be an interesting, raucous time. You've heard me say a lot that it's a pain in the rear to run for office. It is. I have been blessed that I got to run at a time like this when we are talking about such big issues that matter. Lord, it wouldn't be worth it going through this if we were just arguing about and debating about little stuff. This is big stuff. I want you all to stay informed. I'm certainly going to stay informed. This is going to be a very important 2 years. I think this last election we had a month ago was easily the most important election of my lifetime. How this plays out in the next 2 years is going to be just vital. So I'm done. John, let's. I say we just throw it up to the crowd of the audience. You can raise. We can be respectful. You can raise your hands. I'm a former teacher, so I'll be bopping around. If anybody's not comfortable raising their hands and asking a question, or again, just expressing your thoughts. We've got staff that's going to take notes. I'm going to take notes. You don't have to have a question. If you just want to say, Walsh, here's where I stand on the DREAM Act, I wish you'd think about this a little bit more, feel free. It does not have to be a question. If you're not comfortable talking out loud, we've got staff who can easily take any question you would write down.